Do you ever have trouble getting inspired? Maybe you just can't really think of any ideas? Sometimes musicians have to get crafty, and sometimes they have to get inspired when they might not be. I think a lot of bands can relate to maybe being in the studio and having to come up with a cool part right on the spot. Maybe you don't have much time left. Well, his band only had a day. Black Sabbath wrote Paranoid in a day. I think only a few hours, and it became pretty much one of the biggest songs in rock history. Inspiration for you. You know that scene in Willy Wonka, the original one? You know, they're gonna shrink the chocolate down and then it's gonna fly through the air and then you're gonna pluck it out of the TV.
Wonkavision, my very latest and greatest invention.
Well, I like to think of inspiration as that stuff in the air, you know, the chocolate basically, but it's little bits of inspiration that you kind of have to find a way to just pluck out of the air. Sometimes it'll come to you, you know, sometimes it'll just hit you like a little meteor. But other times, you might want some of that inspiration, you know, maybe you're working on a project. Whatever it is, you need inspiration. How do you get that chocolate out of the air? Now you may ask yourself, Josh, how do I get inspired? How do I strike that inspiration? How do I grab that out of the air? You know, what do I do? Well, step one, do something basic. Honestly, one of the easiest ways to get inspired is to do something mindless. Literally, mindless. Do something like brush your teeth, maybe take a shower, you know, maybe clean. Do something, because all you're doing is building momentum. Momentum is the magic word of this whole video. I should almost call this video momentum. But basically, by doing small little tasks like that, you're building a snowball that's just gonna keep building and building and building until eventually you're rolling down the hill. Have you ever decided to clean something and then before you know it, you've ended up cleaning your entire house? Boom, momentum. Basically what you're doing is you're kind of doing that, but with regular things in life too, you know, like maybe you need to get work done. Well, write your name on the piece of paper, you know, open up your laptop, sit down in the chair, get your coffee, whatever it is, start building those little steps that kind of get you to where you're doing the thing you need to be doing. Don't think about the big thing that you need to do, you know, you're stressing, I know, you're like, oh, I got a billion things, I gotta write 1,000 pages, whatever it is. Don't worry about that just yet. Worry about getting there. Worry about the ride first. And then when you get there, you can worry about the task at hand. You know, I think that's a big part too about finding inspiration is not overwhelming yourself to make sure you don't lose that momentum. Picture this, you're rolling a boulder up a hill. You don't want to stumble because that boulder might slip and fall and then you'll lose all that momentum. And I think that's something that can happen is sometimes you'll overdo it. You know, maybe you'll do too many new things. You'll do all kinds of stuff. You'll get all kinds of work done. I think pacing is really important. Sometimes you might push yourself too far and then in that you might dig yourself a deeper hole. So be careful with burnout. I think part of losing that inspiration is kind of sometimes getting overwhelmed by all the things that are happening. Sometimes life gets crazy. It gets hectic. My neighbors might be vacuuming upstairs. There might be some crazy dog barking. Maybe there's a plane, a lawnmower. I don't know. Everyone's got something crazy going on in their lives. Trying to find inspiration in that can be kind of crazy too. Sometimes it could be as simple as just picking up an instrument for me in my case. You know, I'm trying to come up with a song part, or maybe I'm trying to write a song, or maybe I'm just trying to practice something. Just grabbing your instrument and plucking some notes does wonders. You'd be surprised if you just plucked one string, you're gonna pluck another. And you actually might get yourself to play your instrument for a little bit there. You know, maybe you come up with something cool. And to me, that's how simple it is to get inspired. You know, it's as easy as just picking up an instrument, throwing your drumstick at the drum set. Sometimes you listen to a new song. Maybe you watch an inspiring movie. You know, there's a lot of documentaries out there these days, even here on YouTube. And even the smallest video seems like it could kind of spark an interest in you and really get you to do something. Sometimes doing something new can take you on a whole new journey too. I got inspired to work on guitars, and eventually I ended up trying to finish my own guitars. I started painting them and kind of went on a weird little side quest of painting and building a bunch of Strats, and mainly Strats, and also some cool kit guitars. But in that, I was getting inspired to continue my journey in learning guitars. Whatever it may be, you could snowball that momentum into some action. You gotta start the engine to get the car rolling. It's kind of like inspiration. So, Build yourself some momentum, do some basic tasks, do anything. And hey, if you get tired, reward yourself. You've been working hard. You're doing great. Proud of you. Realize what you've done here. You've cleaned the whole house. You've gotten a few tasks done. I think a lot of people think they need to accomplish something big all the time. And honestly, the little tasks matter too. Sometimes just getting out of bed is success. That's amazing. That's all you need to do some days. Just get out of bed. And if you can start there, you can get your taxes done. You can write a song, you can make a movie, you can do all kinds of things. Sometimes these creative ruts can last a while, sometimes they can last longer than you want. So that means you kind of need to figure out a way to maybe pull yourself out of it on your own, climb out of that hole. Finding inspiration isn't always about waiting for it to strike. Sometimes you have to go out there and seek it. And it could be as simple as taking a hike, maybe just walking outside, walking to your mailbox, maybe trying some new food. Breaking the routine can sometimes help. Inspiration's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It could be in your bathroom, you could be on the toilet, you could be in the shower, you could be making a bagel. That's where inspiration can strike, literally anywhere. It's just about being open to it, trying to find those ways to spark it, literally lighting those fires, pouring gasoline on whatever it is that creates inspiration. Ultimately, this creative rut that you're in will pass and you'll forget that you were even in it. So hopefully you survive the waves and you find a way to maybe get out of it sooner. And if you have any ways that you get inspired, comment below. Let me know. I'd love to hear them. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.